Hey, you guys, Casper here with, I will say, a daily update, daily recap, just to see where we are on silver, gold, all that good stuff. And initially, we will talk just a teeny weeny on uranium because we've got we had a big day. I wouldn't say news driven, but it was definitely some good news coming out from Spot, which sent the price higher. Let's look at it and see where we are really. So, yeah. And also, and also, I send out a video on a specific stock in uranium, which I think we haven't quite broken the big one, but I'm very confident that this somewhat tiny stock, well, not tiny, but middle range, whatever, should do fairly well. It's a really, really good setup, and I want you to see that. There are definitely opportunities coming there. So, anywho. URA, again, great day, 5% URA, 6%, 7% URNM, 10% URNJ, 3% nukes. Sold off a little bit at the end. Fair enough. So are we still overall, this is the weekly, happy with the view? Sure. I have cleaned it up a little bit. But again, we're above the main channel. Well, we're above that, which is nice. Now again, if we want to have bearish glasses on, we don't want to see that, of course, coming down through that again. That wouldn't be good by any means. The recent high here at roughly 34 is of course key, but ideally we want to hold, let's say 35, because then we're still above the blue here uh, for the uh, for the nukes ETF, excuse me, the URA, and a lot of volume coming in compared to the past 20 days. And the candle is, a bit meh, still within the uptrend, so we're basically still happy. But again, people are a little, I wouldn't say overexcited because we're having good news, but again, I could see at least, a little bit of a reset just to get people not so excited again. Could be, but again, if we look at the 3 monthly candle, I mean, holy smokes. If this candle continues and to be, let's say, as minimum here, we have 9 trading days left if there are no holidays. So let's say this candle stays for the end of the month, end of the quarter, and actually end of half a year. That is a massive candle, insanely bullish. No way you're gonna, you can't put it either way. So that is incredible. So if we close somewhere in this neighborhood for this week and the next, happy. That's good. URNM broke out of its yellow here, right? And basically, you can see we basically tagged the little waterfall level that we have there. That's one up here as well, but still fine. Again, now the big one, the most bullish view at the moment is if we this week or the next week hold 45, basically holding the yellow and this horizontal 45 level, then good. I mean, that is good. Of course, we wanted to blast, but again, we also have to just look at where we are and maybe have a little bit of a digestion of it. But again, the trend is up, everything is up still. The 3 monthly here is not as bullish as URA. This is again, it is bullish, don't get me wrong. I mean, massive bullish engulfing, no doubt. URNM is more minor heavy compared to URA, where you have the tech, uranium tech, which SMR, small nuclear reactors, enrichment, these guys. So good. URNJ, look exactly where it got, kicked today, roughly at the upper blue, pulling back. And again, if we get this, right, let's say, for instance, or that, if we break the blue, all bets are off. It sounds very bullish, and it is. So that is good. Nukes still doing what I think could be like a Livermore, cylinder. This one where again, I can't remember the exact formation, but again, so happy with that as well. And let's uh, let's go into the update which we were planning, which is the daily update for you. If I can find it. Am I blind here? I guess I am. There it is. Good. We're just going to talk a little bit about silver. Silver, which is again overall. Why are you there? Go away. Which overall, this is the daily. We have no real worries at the moment. What happens, again, ever since we broke there, that was the big go for us. We tagged the red, we tagged the golden, breaking the highs here, breakout, for now it's good. We could even retest, 35, give or take, maybe 34.5, and still be very happy with the view. So silver, yeah, again, I think once we break this tiny little blue here, there's a very, very little blue trend line going across. It is actually more visible on the short time frames. You can see it here. When that breaks, in my book, we're going to see, 38, give or take 38. So silver, yeah, very pleased still. And also long term, I mean, we have nothing to really mention at this moment. Gold, again, doing well. This call with that whole local high still holds true. Bit of a broadening structure here. Again, breakout backtest resumption. Seeing some resistance here at roughly 3,450. Still an okay view in my book here. Gold is done. I don't want to say more. Platinum. Are we insanely bullish on platinum? You bet. And do we really care at this moment what happens on the daily? No, it doesn't matter. In my book, it doesn't matter because we need to go to the monthly to look and actually get a grasp of the breakout that's happening. And remember, the monthly, you roughly have 22 trading days, give or take, within that candle. So monthly, insanely bullish. And as of now, we don't really care what happens on the daily. This is the weekly, right? You can see the breakout test, boom, and off we go. So this is very similar. Again, if this was the daily chart, right? If that was the daily candle, again, this is purely theory, but it's just to get, a little bit of a, idea that would you mind what happens on the, let's say, the 1 hourly time frame? No, we don't really care. And you can see we had a little bit of a triangle high here, right? Where we basically the neckline high there. So resistance there, totally fine in my book, totally fine. Bullish, yes. Palladium here, struggling. I wouldn't say struggling, but it's definitely lagging, which we also discussed that, again, we are very bullish on platinum when we had that break 2 weeks ago. And Palladium, we're also bullish, but we expect it to underperform platinum. It's still struggling a little bit. And the big moment for platinum is definitely there, 1,250. Again, then we have a head and shoulders built up here, and then we're going to go to roughly 2K, a tad below. Still very, very, difficult chart because there's a lot of things going on here. You can see again, so if we do the daily here, so this is the neckline tag, falling wedge here, breakout, backtest, cool, massive surge into a bit of a hidden trend line, bull flag, backtest here again. So you can see it's doing bullish things. It's just not as bullish as platinum. Rhodium, again, once it crosses 600, give or take, I think we're going to see 700 and then 1500 for rhodium. So the white metals, yes, we are very bullish on those. Some more than others, but yeah. Yes. So here we have gold-silver ratio. Last week, we went through the Trump tariff gap, tagged the big, big long-term wedge or flag, excuse me, upper support, bouncing. Now we're testing here again. You can see the Trump tariff again, and we really want to get back below. So overall, still somewhat happy with the view, but we cannot be, overly excited in my book until we really clear 90. I think below 90 is where a lot of good things happen for silver and gold and the miners, of course, because the 90 level is somewhere around here. Again, we could do a little bit of that, so we get a little bit more connection. So, and then we get roughly 88. So 88, 90, that little zone, anything below that, and I'm expecting this one to fully go actually do something like that in my book. So very important keystone, 88 to 90, which has been previously important as well. Again, once we started to break out of this whole cluster here, pump the big 80, the big 90 level, anything about that, and we were, yeah, the deal. We talked about it, so we saw a lot of damage to the chart, and we get the inverse for the miners if we start to cross below there. So Dixie, what are you doing? Well, I have two trend lines on because to me, this is all that is important now. Nothing, basically, I don't care. Of course, I do care, but to me, the 15-year uptrend, which is support, we're holding for now, and this 5-year, support here as well. So the dollar is at major, major support. And again, of course, we have three here. One, we have two, three. Do we get a bounce here? I think we have to wait and see, of course. But again, my, feeling tells me that we're gonna see that bounce. A little bit of a weak one would be nice, and then we go down. That would be standard stuff, right? Break on the fourth. If we go straight through here, I mean, that is even more bullish because then we don't even get the fourth touch break. And again, that is just devastating for the Dixie. So yeah, let's see what happens here at roughly, let's call it 98 to like 97.7. That is a very, very key moment here for the Dixie. And we could go to the daily. You can see here short-term double bottom as well. So a lot of support here. Very, very key moment. And you can also see the trend line that is important for it to break because we can take one here like that and we can extend it. I think it aligns. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. No question about it. If we pop this one, we're going to have that, bigger push. And hopefully we do that, of course. If it can't break the blue, so you can see here insanely big um, decision point coming up. We have the very long-term support, which for now still is stronger than the short-term downtrend. So we shall see. But during June, which is basically 9 trading days, we are going to see this one break up or down. And either way, especially down, we could see a big plunge where we could see a big hole getting, smoked into the Dixie chart. Short term, again, a little bit of a counter trend rally, and then we will most likely continue down. Most likely. So big decision there. Bitcoin, again, doing well still, struggling a little bit with the triangle high from January 2025. But again, overall, still happy with the, again, whatever you call it here. No real damage whatsoever. Uh, when will I be concerned? I will say anything below like a 100, because then you're getting feelings of topping here. But again, this looks to me that it wants to go higher as well. So, um, and remember, as long as Bitcoin is is doing well, the markets have no issues at all. Bitcoin is, again, the deal with Bitcoin. It's the prime liquidity bullish bearish indicator that there is. That's all it is actually. It's leverage tech, but you can make a lot of money for sure. Oil here, let's spend a little bit of time on that because that is very important at the moment here. Just some flashback. Again, we said if we break this one here, that little mini 2-month sideways stuff there, we're gonna tag 66, which we did. Teeny weeny pullback, and then of course we had the disturbances between, in the Middle East, basically a new disturbance, and you saw big short squeeze, big pump there. A lot of fear that hey, we are running out of oil and all that. Uh, Massive wick on the Friday candle, and now we're trading sub 72, which is very important, the 72. So we're still happy with the view overall in my book here, since we're above this golden trend line here. So as long as we stay there, fair enough, it's fine. And of course, if we ever start to, let's say, do that, whatever, however, getting above 72 again, very bullish. So let's see, let it calm down a little bit. And in order to see when it's calmed down, a very good indicator is actually the Bollinger Band here, which is looks like we could be stalling here for some time, given that huge wick out of the Bollinger Band coming back in. So again, oil is probably, I will say, the most interesting given where it is compared to the others. Like platinum, we have no worries, for instance, but oil, the most interesting here at the moment. And the daily, the day-to-day price action is very volatile at the moment, and we want it to cool down a little bit and then show the direction. US 10-year, do we want to talk about it? No, still overall. We can even remove that and make a new one because this was the the first one here, but I'm seeing something on a bigger time frame, and that's that one. So overall, the US 10-year looks very bullish. Still, we need to see more technical damage in order to be worried at all. SPY, do we want to know? We want to talk a little bit about copper. I think copper looks great still. You can see here since April, May, and June, just it is basically all around, everywhere. But again, we're still making somewhat of higher highs and higher lows, and we're bull flagging here again. So I'm still somewhat happy with copper. I am still happy with copper. I'm not seeing anything major yet. There could be some short-term stuff here when and if we break that. So if we add that one in here, we have a little bit of a channel here. So anything below 4.7 short-term, it's not the best. Coal, we should talk about coal. Yes, we should. You can see here, oh, this is an old drawing, by the way. That one there. As for now, beautiful. You can see the little potential wedge going on as well. Remember, anything above 115 coal, and I'm going to issue a big buy on coal, and therefore also most likely, again, we have to check the chart, but coal stock should do really well. And I think BGU is also now reacting to something, I think, decently nice here. Yep, good candle today. Well, it's from yesterday, but again, we're trying to break out here, and let's see what happens. Again, it all depends on if we get the buy signal on coal itself, if we are going to go into these guys here. So gas here, we do not want to talk about gas. So I don't really have much further other than the fact I want to just quickly show you SUP. And again, the importance of what I have named it the triangle high and how important it is initially, if I can find it. So down 5% today. Are we really at the moment scared? No. We're still really happy with the long call at 0.67. And you can see here, again, this is the big breakout moment on the fourth. 1, 2, 3, break on the fourth. This is, again, triangle high, which is the breakout formation highest point that you can connect often. Not always, but often that's the case. And it was basically also going from, cents to like $1. So you're getting the burst big down day. And let's see how low it can go. If you get a full retest, if we do, it would suck, of course, since we have done so much. But again, that would be a big buy. So if we get down to roughly 70 again, 70 cents, that would be a great place to buy, really. And we have big support at 75, by the way. So overall, again, looking at the monthly here, I'm going to jump a bit back and forth. This is the monthly candle. Good volume, massive breakouts. We're basically breaking 1, 2, 3, big break on the fourth. Again, this is the main driver of this, so-called, what I think is a very big call, and not a big call, but again, a big opportunity. And you break on the fourth here. And you can see here that the monthly candlesticks for now is in charge. And we have Bollinger Band expansion on the monthly. For now, we don't care what happens day-to-day basis. It doesn't matter to us. So extremely happy with it still. Big macro textbook falling wedge breakout targets are as you see them here. My first big target is roughly 1.56 still. Then we have resistance at 4.6 and then ultimately all-time highs. And if we're lucky, we play the yellow one here if we're really lucky. So good. I have nothing further. Uranium, big day today. And I actually do have something. I do. This is monthly, excuse me. Uranium spot price. Boom. Breaking out today here. Again, let's see what happens over the next few days. Typically, the day after news is often not a defined tell, but it's a good tell. And you can also see here that URA, pulled back quite heavily. It tried to break out here during the open and pulling back, closing the gap of the news. So the most bullish thing we could see now is the gap fill, which has happened. I don't think there's much left. No, I think it's almost okay, and you just close the gap and then you break out. At that moment in time, we are all even more happy than we are today. But again, looking at the URA divided by spot price, we are still in a good situation. So good. I have nothing further. Check out the video on the uranium stock. It's only one stock that I talk about for like 10 minutes. I think the setup is great, and I will do more research to find potential stocks because there are something coming up in the miners. We have done really well on the tech side, but miners is definitely showing a little bit of a healthy potential yield long breakouts. It could happen during the week depending on how, again, timing wise, difficult, but they are definitely getting close. I have nothing further, and this time it's for real. Have a great day. Bye.